Greetings, Earthlings and aliens. I am here with surprisingly another piercing body mod tutorial. A couple years ago I took out all of my piercings except for my cartilage in favor of moving into a more professional era in my life. And I was very happy with that decision, and I continued to be happy with that for a while, but recently at my job I've had actually several customers come in with their vertical LABRET piercing, and that's the last piercing I'd gotten before I took everything out, and it really made me miss it, and I think that was one of my favorite ones. So 2 days ago, impulsively, I decided to go get it done. Again, for those of you that don't know what a vertical LABRET is, it is this guy right here. The difference between a LABRET and a vertical LABRET is that a vertical LABRET goes up and a regular LABRET goes back. So LABRET piercings go through the lip, and the back of the stud comes in contact with your gum and your teeth. But a vertical LABRET doesn't do that. It goes up and comes out the top of the lip, as you can see here. So the benefit to having a vertical LABRET as opposed to a regular LABRET is that the flat back never comes in contact with your teeth or your gums, so there's no chance of gum recession. It doesn't harm your teeth because it doesn't come in contact with them. A little bit about my experience. Like I said, this is the second time I've had it done, and this is the first time I've ever had anything re-pierced, and I wasn't really sure what to expect because they did go through the scar tissue. I know from experience now that piercing scar tissue is a little bit more painful than regular unscarred skin. Surprisingly, my lip didn't really swell. This is the size of my lip normally. I'm having the same symptoms of a new piercing that I had the first time I got it done, and that is my lip is chapping a little bit, constantly feeling like you have dry, dead skin kind of building up around the piercing, and it feels like your lips are constantly chapped. And me personally, I always have chapstick with me, and I use it several times a day, even before I got my lip pierced. Something I'd like to dispel is that I've seen some people were saying you can't use chapstick while it's healing. That's a load of crap, okay? If a piercing is going to take 3 to 5 weeks to heal on average, there is no way I'm going 21 days without wearing chapstick. I can't even make it a few hours without my lips feeling dry. If you have dry lips and you just got a lip piercing, just go ahead and put your chapstick on like you would normally. It's not going to do anything, I promise you. So aftercare tips, you're going to take a gallon of distilled water, make sure it's distilled and not spring, and the little packet of sea salt that they give you at the piercing place, you're going to dissolve that entire thing into the gallon. So you're going to take a little bathroom cup like this, and you're going to fill it with the water. You're going to want to fill it enough to where it's not going to spill over if you insert anything into it, but just enough so that you can kind of get your lip in there. A lot of websites that advise you to kind of use the suction method, which would be to kind of do this. And if you constantly, suctioning the cup to your mouth, you're going to pass out. But if you, like I said, if you fill it high enough, just high enough to where it won't spill over, but high enough that you can submerge your bottom lip, then you can just kind of keep it there for 5 to 10 minutes once a day. I also advise you to leave the gallon of water with the sea salt solution in it at room temperature, so don't put it in your fridge. A warm solution is probably best to not shock your new fistula, especially because if you live with people and you don't tell them what's in the water, they're probably going to think if they see it in the fridge that it's drinkable, and if they pour themselves a glass and it's salt water, they're not going to be too pleased, or so I would imagine. If that's your thing, then more power to you. It is one of my favorite piercings. I, again, am super glad that I got it. As your piercer will tell you, and pretty much anywhere on the internet webs, I would advise you not to touch or play with your piercing until it's fully healed, although I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I'm totally guilty of doing this. I mess around with it with my tongue all the time, despite, me totally messing around with my new piercing. Don't do it. Don't do it. And yeah, I really like this piercing, and if you're looking for something sort of different and you're not really sure what to get, I would highly suggest the vertical LABRET piercing because it's a lot of fun. It's a good conversation piece too. If you work with the public, a lot of people will kind of oh, I like your lip ring, or things like that. And then you can be like, thanks, I know, it's pretty great. My face is really saturated right now. What's going on here? Why am I so bright? There we go. Back to normal. So I hope this video doesn't have too much background noise. My iPad is propped up on a window which is open. There's cars going past on the street, and my jackass of a neighbor is doing some weird shit in his garage, so I don't know if any of that's audible, but if it is, I apologize, and I hope that you can still hear me okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go edit this down from 16 minutes and 31 seconds now and count how many times I've done the air quotes, because I know that I've done them a lot. Have a wonderful day or have a wonderful night, depending on where you are. And again, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and share, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna go now. Alright, bye.